Oh boy, we got a good one today. Let me tell you. All right, today we're going to be talking about networking equipment. So you might have seen a couple of our videos and seen us, using all kinds of various devices for networks and stuff like that, right? So we're going to clear the air on what is right for you, possibly. All right. First thing we're going to start off with is a Netgear Nighthawk and a TP-Link. All right. Both of these are great networking equipment. All right. Both of them have an application. TP-Link is controlled by the Tether app. Nighthawk is controlled by the Nighthawk app. Awesome, right? So what's the difference between the two? Netgear is going to have a little bit more capabilities when it comes to static IPs and the IP ranges available, and what you can do as far as managing your network from afar without being on site. The TP-Link, while it's still a great application through the Tether app, what you're going to have is you can see data usage on devices that join your network. You also get a notification every time a new piece of equipment joins your network. All right, so if you see a device that's pulling a lot of data and stuff like that, you can instantly kick them off without any repercussions, and they won't be able to get access to the network again. All right, so let's move on to the big guns. All right, enough of those. So we have the UniFi Dream Machine, one of my favorite devices to use for networking. Right. Best thing about the UniFi Dream Machine is shape. Shape says it all. We have your WAN port on the bottom, 4 ports to use up on top to manage those ports and everything that you have. And it's controlled by the UniFi app. One of the best things about the UniFi app is once you hook up to the WAN port from your ISP or internet service provider, what ends up happening is it starts locating the devices for you. It starts provisioning them, downloading the firmware updates and all the different things that it needs before it can get rocking and rolling, right? Once you get your first piece of equipment hooked up, then you can actually plug in something like your UniFi access points. Once you get that plugged in from the application, it'll actually ask you if you want to adopt this device. Super easy process. Once it becomes adopted, then you can control it, start giving off your guest Wi-Fi, your personal Wi-Fi, your private Wi-Fi for all of your employees and stuff like that. Super, super easy setup. I absolutely love the UniFi brand, but not to show any favoritism, but it actually is a great company to work with and they have a great product line. One of the next products that we do have is going to be a Fortinet. Okay, so this is controlled through the FortiGate cloud. This one's not as cool of a design as the UniFi, but you know what? Still pretty sleek. You still have your WAN ports, your LAN ports that you can control, and then a console port to get into and manipulate this device as needed, right? One of the things that you want to look at, what is appropriate for me? What do I need for my restaurant? What do I need for my home? So TP-Link is going to be something that you're going to be using for your home. The TP-Link and the Nighthawk Netgear, right? So when you're looking at all these devices, there's also going to be a significant increase in price. You're looking at about $100 for each of these devices separately. The Dream Machines and the Fortinets can go anywhere from like $300 to $400, depending on what you're looking for. But you know what? When you get it in there, you're more secure with these. You're going to be able to lock down all of your ports, all your devices, and you know everything that's going on within your network at all the times. This one's more for kind of like an outside looking in approach for your home network and stuff like that. So when you're thinking about, what to use for when it comes to your network, you're going to want to go with something that's going to be suiting your needs, more so home and just easy accessibility, or more locked down and more secure. All right. So when you think about networking, think about F3IT.